Okay, third grade. Today we are going to talk about possessive nouns and pronouns. So you do need the worksheet, possessive nouns and pronouns that was in your packet. You're going to need a pencil and some kind of a coloring device, whether that's a crayon or a colored pencil. I wouldn't use a marker because remember it bleeds through. Okay, so let's talk about possessive. It shows that a person, animal, place, or thing has or owns something. Now, if you have a singular, meaning it's one, you're going to add an apostrophe S, which we're used to doing. Well, we're going to talk about plural as well, meaning that it's more than one. And a lot of times the plural noun already ends with an S. So then we can't add an S. There's going to be an S and an apostrophe S. When it already ends with an S, you're going to add an apostrophe after it. But if the plural word already doesn't end with an S, such as children, right? Child is one, children is more than one, but it doesn't end with an S. So that's when we're going to add an apostrophe S. And then here is a list also of your possessive pronouns. His, my, our, her, mine, ours, and its. So let's go ahead and take a look at the worksheet. It says circle the noun that should be possessive. Then write the correct possessive form of it on the line. So it already has the noun. We got to take a look if it's singular or plural. I'm not going to circle it. I'm actually going to highlight because it's going to be a little bit easier on my computer. So 5 students' papers were hanging on the classroom wall. So the noun I'm taking a look at is students. Okay, 5 students. It's not singular, so it's plural. And it ends with an S. So that's when I'm going to put the apostrophe after it. So 5 students. And then I'm going to have my apostrophe. And you know what? I'll make that a little bigger for you guys to see. Is that better? Maybe we'll make it a darker blue so it stands out. Okay, the next one. The player uniform was dirty after the game. Well, who are we talking about? Whose uniform? The player's uniform. And it's just one person. So here is a singular, so I'm going to do player. But then I'm going to add an apostrophe S because it's a singular. The next one. The cook pots and pans are in the cupboards. Well, whose pots and pan? The cook's. And it's singular, right? It doesn't add an S. It's one person, the cook. So we're going to add cook with an apostrophe S. The next one, the girls' club meeting was at the community center. Whose meeting? The girls, meaning it's already plural. So remember, when it's already plural, that is when we're going to add an apostrophe after the S. Because we can't do S apostrophe S. That doesn't look right. The next one. When they saw the bear's tracks, they went the other way. Well, whose tracks? The bear's tracks. And it has an S at the end. So it's talking about plurals, maybe more than one bear. So that's when we're going to have, it's already plural, has an S, and you're going to do an apostrophe after it. The next one. The coach team won the tournament. Well, whose team won the tournament? The coach's team. So we're going to do C-O-A-C-H, right? And it is singular, so you're going to do apostrophe S. Next one. Our car tire went flat when we ran over the nail. Ooh, that is not good, right? So whose tire? The car's tire, right? So then that's what we're going to, it's singular, so then we're going to do car and apostrophe S. The horse's barn kept them protected when there was a storm. Whose barn? The horses. Now, horses is already plural. It already ends with an S. So I'm not going to add an apostrophe S. I'm going to add an apostrophe after the S. Okay. So that's the top part. Now the bottom part is where we're going to have to use either a crayon or colored pencil because it wants to color the plural possessive noun if it's written correctly. So it's going to be plural. So remember, it's plural. Either there's an S with an apostrophe, or we're going to add an apostrophe S when it does not end in S. So I put this X here because you know what? I'm going to go through and I'm going to cross off the ones I definitely know are not right, that I'm not going to color. And we've been talking a lot about with possessive, you always have an apostrophe somewhere. So I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to put an X on where there's no apostrophes to train my brain being like, well, that's not one. So cats doesn't have an apostrophe. Teachers doesn't. Men's doesn't. Right? Go ahead and go through and find all of them that don't have an apostrophe because we're talking about possessive, right? When things, there's ownership. Nope, and then families, right? Right? Okay, so teachers. Okay, it's plural, so it's going to be more than one, meaning we're already going to have an S at the end. If it already has an S at the end, you are going to put an apostrophe after it, right? It's not talking about one, it's talking about more than one. So we would actually color that first box. Now I hope your coloring skills are a little bit better than mine when it comes to staying in the line. It's kind of hard for me on my computer instead of my board. Okay, next one, men's. Well, one person's man, M-A-N. More than one is men. Okay, so when I just see the root word men, that is plural. Okay, so this is one of those tricky ones where the plural form of it doesn't end in an S. So I am going to use an apostrophe S. Just like child with children. So we are going to, just because men, the base word men means more than one. Cats, when it has an apostrophe after it, right? Because the root word cats would end with a plural, would be with an S. Cherries, ooh, remember cherries, C-H-E-R-R-Y, they dropped the Y and added an I-E-S. Okay, so the plural version of it has an S, so I can't add an apostrophe S for the plural, so you add it at the end. Okay, you have judges. It ends with an S, so you have an apostrophe after it. Sisters ends with an S. Remember, it's plural, so we are going to put the apostrophe after it. Remember, make sure you color in the lines. Hopefully you can do better than I can. Cats, that's an apostrophe S. That means that's talking about one of them. Okay, so I'm going to leave it blank. If you want, you can put an X over it, but I'm just going to leave it blank. Farmers. Farmers, okay, has the S at the end. So we're not going to add another apostrophe S, so it is S with the apostrophe. Drivers, okay, ends in an S, and you have to have an apostrophe after it because it's the plural possessive. So it's more than one, so maybe the bus drivers. Mices. Now think about this. This one's tricky. One is mouse. More than one is mice. So the base word mice is plural. So I do have to have an apostrophe S because mice means more than one. So that is the correct plural possessive. Children's, right? Child is one. The plural version is children. So it doesn't end in an S. So I have to add the S. When I have to add it, it's an apostrophe S. Deers. This one's tricky. Deer's a one where it actually doesn't change. I saw deer in the field. I saw deers in the field. Okay. Singular and plural are the same thing. It's deer. So I do need to add an apostrophe S. So that is correct. Farmers, well, that's an apostrophe S, so that's not right because we said, remember, it has to be plural with an S with apostrophe. Plants, ooh, I missed an X, right? There's no apostrophe at all, so that's definitely not one. Teachers, teacher with an apostrophe S, that's singular, right? So that's just one person. Peoples, ooh, one is person, more than one is people. So that's where that word people means more than one. That's plural, but it doesn't end in an S. So that's where I do have to add an apostrophe S. Plants, plants ends with an S. So I'm going to do an apostrophe after it. Geese, think about one is goose, more than one is geese. So the root word is geese, but it doesn't end in an S. So I have to add an apostrophe S. Okay, families, they change the Y to an IES, and it ends in a Y, or ends with an S, so I'm going to put the apostrophe after it. Plants, well, we said it has to be S with apostrophe, so that's a singular one. Men's, well, the root word is men, right? And we said it has to be over here, it has to have an apostrophe S. Sisters, that's an apostrophe S, so that's talking about one person. So there we have it. That's what we should have colored for our plural possessive nouns.